welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa and you're watching Growing on Vancouver Island. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a teacup fairy garden. It's Fairy Garden Thursday, and if you missed last Thursday, I made a fairy garden every Thursday in November. Grandma Sandy and I are going to be making fairy gardens, and any other creators who want to join in are welcome to join in. So definitely check out Grandma Sandy's fairy gardens on her channel. For my fairy garden today, I'm going to be using this little teacup. Let's see if you can see all the detailing in it. It's very lovely. Got some beautiful pansies, and if you've ever seen my rock garden videos, you'll know that I have a lot of pansies in my rock garden. I love pansies. They're just the cutest, most beautiful flowers. And it came with a saucer. Here's the saucer. And I believe the set was $4. I actually bought this way back early spring or early summer, mid-spring, early summer, at a thrift store, and I just haven't got around to making these indoor fairy gardens yet, but I'll give you a look out the window. The times have changed in the Pacific Northwest. Here's the view outside right now. I don't know if it's actually raining. It's either very lightly drizzling or could be raining, but it's not beautiful like it was for so long in our fall. It's very cold. It's wet, it's damp, and it's typical of the weather in the Pacific Northwest. So from now on, the fairy gardens are all going to be inside my home for the fall and winter season. Hello, welcome back to the world where it's warm. So back to making this tea cup fairy garden. So we've got our teacup. We're going to start this little fairy garden by filling the teacup about 3/4 to all the way up with this sand. I would have loved to use some gravel, but I don't really have gravel at this time, and I didn't really want to go shopping right now, so we're going to use sand, and hopefully that works out okay. So we're just going to fill up our teacup with some sand. Have it about this high. I think I'm going to add just a tad more. I think that'll be perfect for this fairy garden because we are going to be adding things to the upper level, and hopefully that's not too much. We'll find out pretty soon if that's too much. So we're just going to place it back on the saucer. So for some of my indoor fairy gardens, I'm going to be making them for basically anyone who has a brown thumb when it comes to houseplants and indoor gardening. And I'm gonna put myself in that category. I do have houseplants, and I am going to give you a houseplant tour soon. Real houseplants, not this kind. I have a few of these, but I have quite a few real houseplants, and I'm going to get into my houseplant journey in another video. But let's just say I have a brown thumb when it comes to houseplants, and for this little fairy garden, I picked this up at the dollar store for a different purpose. And I realized, take a look at this. This is like some kind of dirt substance, but it's not dirt, like glittery glue that's at the bottom. But look at this. I can take it out. I don't think you can see that in the camera. I can take it out and reuse it. So I've got my little succulent here, my faux succulent, and I've got the little, I don't know what you want to call it, placing device stuck in this substance. So I can use this multiple times, which is pretty cool. So because I have a brown thumb, we are going to use some faux succulents in this teacup arrangement. So here we have this little teacup, and we're just going to place it into the, here we have the succulent and we're just going to place it in the teacup. And by the way, I didn't mention this. I have not done this before. I have done several outdoor fairy gardens this year, and I've never done an indoor one before. This is my first time. So we're just winging it. I've got a few supplies and we're going to see how it turns out. I didn't mention that before. So we've got a little succulent in here. And let's add another one. So I've got this one here. I think 2 is probably enough. Might even just be a 1 succulent kind of arrangement, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna put it beside the first one. And now we're gonna add some accessories. So here are the accessories we're gonna use in this little teacup fairy garden. We've got this cute little house. I don't know how well the camera's focusing. I got this in a kit on, I'll show you, on Amazon. You can't really see, but there's a whole bunch of miniature, really miniature fairy garden pieces in here. And this is one I don't think I've actually used yet in a fairy garden display, so that's kind of exciting. It's just a cute little tiny house and kind of rustic feeling. So here is the little house. And now we're going to add this little statue. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I thought it was kind of cool, so we'll just put that in and see what we think. And then I have this tiny little gnome. I thought he might be appropriate for this little garden. And I'm gonna see if I can balance him on top, whoops, maybe not. I'm gonna see if I can balance him on top of a little succulent. That's not gonna work. So, let's see. Okay, well, we got him to sit. The camera can see that. Got him sitting nice and squarely on a succulent leaf. So that's pretty cool. So here's a look of what we've done so far with this little fairy garden. We've got the cute little house, the random statue, and this little gnome is just chilling out on my faux succulent. There's one more detail we're going to add before we call this finished. So now we're going to place our little succulent teacup garden back on the saucer that it came with. And I have this little ladder that I thought would be fun to add to this garden. And now the question is, can I get it to balance on this teacup? There might be a trick to this. So the trick to getting the little ladder to stay was to balance it on the handle of the teacup. I don't think I could do it without balancing it. But here's the final look at my teacup. At my teacup fairy garden, this arrangement is definitely the easiest, the quickest arrangement I've ever made, and definitely great for anyone with a brown thumb who wants to make an indoor fairy garden. I am planning to make some fairy gardens inside with real plants. Stay tuned for that. But for now, this is my first indoor fairy garden ever. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial video, and maybe this will inspire you to make a teacup fairy garden of your own, or a micro fairy garden of your own. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next Thursday with a new fairy garden video. Have a good day.